Pag-usapang flagship level na camera, there's only two phones that comes into my mind. Vivo X200 Ultra and si Xiaomi 15 Ultra. And ito, tawag sa kanya Ultra din. This is the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. Sabi ng mga ibang reviewers that this one can stand toe-to-toe with those other two phones. Ako halos decided na ako 1 and 2, yung dalawang phone na yon. Would this phone change my mind replacing Vivo and Xiaomi as my top number 1 na flagship level phone? And kaya nga ba ni Hasselblad talunin si Zeiss and si Leica? Pag-usapan natin after this quick intro. Now, pagdating sa kanyang packaging, very simple lang siya. And by the way guys, this is a China ROM variant. So, wala siyang Google Play Store. Pero madali lang siya install. Pasok ka lang sa Oppo na App Store, type mo na Google Play Store, update, tapos. So, pagbukas natin, ito bubungan sa atin. Meron siyang pa-voucher, pero magagamit mo in China only. Jelly case lang meron niya, no? So, I was expecting a little bit more of a premium na case, pero unfortunately, it's just a very, very cheap na jelly case ang kasama dito sa kanya. Well, I expected a little bit more. So, nandito yung phone itself. Mamaya natin buksan yung phone. We have a 100 watts na fast charging brick, pero A2C pa rin ang gamit niya. Ang dami ng ibang nag-a-adapt ng C2C. I hope na sana mag-follow soon si Oppo to use a C2C na charging brick. Meron tayong SIM injector tool na kasama, and of course, A2C na cable. That's pretty much everything inside the box. Nabuksan na natin yung phone. One thing to like dito sa kanya is it looks quite elegant. And halos hindi naman siya nagkakalayo sa itsura ng mga Xiaomi 15 Ultra and Vivo X200 Ultra. O diba, halos hindi sila nagkakalayo sa itsura. Except na medyo mas malaki lang camera bump ni Xiaomi. Pero pagdating sa itsura, hindi nagkakalayo. Now, before we talk about the design, ang presyo nito, ang kanya 12256GB na variant na China ROM is priced at around 58,000 pesos. And mabibili mo to sa link that I'll provide in the description box below or do sa product link na biglang lilitaw sa inyong screen. Just be careful where you buy kasi ang daming scammer ngayon. Yung mga link na pinopost natin are only legit links na tested ko. Now, one thing na napansin ko dito sa kanyang camera bump is hindi siya makapal. Si Vivo X200 Ultra at si Xiaomi 15 Ultra medyo mas makapal sila. And this one feels a little bit lighter compared dito. Kasi ako, this is my daily driver. Probably if you're the type of person na galing sa mga mid-range or mga flagship like kay Huawei na medyo mas magaan, eh mafe-feel mo medyo mas mabigat. There are times na medyo mangangalay ka pang matagal mo na siyang hawak, nag-scroll ka sa social media. One thing na napansin ko dito sa kanyang gilid, maganda siyang tingnan, elegante, but it looks quite like the iPhone design. Ito multifunction button niya, pag pinindot mo, there's a lot of calibration na pwede mong gawin. Pwede mo siya i-set depende sa gusto mo. Eh ako sinet ko siya sa ringer toggle, which is yun ang pinaka-useful para sa akin. Pwede siya maging silent, mag-vibrate, or pwede siya mag-ring mode. So, very useful para sa akin to. Now, another improvement dito sa kanya, which I think is more of the copy niya sa iPhone 16 Pro Max, is itong kanyang camera button. Now, medyo limited ang function nito and the same sa reklamo ko sa iPhone, eh medyo malayo siya dito. Kasi hindi naman siguro lahat ng tao mahaba ang daliri. So, pag pindot mo, medyo talagang isi-stretch out mo yung index finger para umabot lang dito sa kanyang button, which I find very uneasy to use. Mas gugustuhin ko pumindot na lang sa screen. Now, yung function niya, same nga ba sa iPhone? Hindi. Pero nung pinipindot ko naman siya dito, very responsive naman siya. And kung mag-light touch ka sa kanya, mag-burst shot siya. Yun lang basically ang function niya. Now, of course, pag flagship level phone, expect mo maganda ang processor dito sa loob. Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, yun ang kanyang main processor dito sa loob. And by the way guys, this is the complete spec sheet. Pakita ko sa inyo. Now, one thing to my surprise, mataas ang score na nakuha ko dito sa Antutu Benchmark. Ito, 2.68 million points sa Antutu Benchmark, which I'm quite surprised na surpass niya some of the other 8 Elite phones na meron ko. And here are the other benchmark kung gusto niyo makita. Now, nung ginagamit ko naman to as my daily driver, ang experience ko dito is really good. Kasi it can perform everything na binibigay ko sa kanya. Just like my 15 Ultra. Kailangan ko mag-edit dito ng video, kaya niya. Kailangan ko mag-gaming dito sa kanya, Genshin Impact, walang problema. Kailangan ko mag-video call, matino naman ka ng front-facing camera. And the list goes on. Lahat ng kailangan kong gawin dito, wala problema. And pag tinanong mo naman ako kung gumagana mga banking apps dito, BPI, BDO, GCash, walang problema dito sa China ROM phone na ito. Everything's working fine. Pati ang Globe Smart na 5G also working on this flagship phone. One good thing dito sa kanya, makunat ang battery nito phone na ito. This one packs inside a 6,100 mAh na battery. Meron din siya 100 watts na fast charging support. And the good thing is, may charger siya kasama sa loob. Normally, mga ibang flagship phones like yung mga Nord, tinatanggal na nila isa-isa yung mga charger like this one. Which ends up, kailangan mo pa maghanap ng charger sa mga flagship store nila. which oftenly hindi mo mabibili yan. Unless mag-pre-order ka early, binibigyan nila libre. Pero kung hindi ka nakapag-pre-order ng early, sorry ka na lang. You just have to buy any charger na makita mo na compatible dito sa kanya. Which normally leads me to vouch for Ugreen as one of my daily driver na charger. Sobrang okay ito dahil it can charge 3 phones, 3 devices at the same time, and meron siya dalawang C-port, isang A-port. And mabilis siya iligpit kasi itago mo lang siya like this one. And maganda rin kanyang design. May Genshin Impact design siya. Pwede rin ito mag-charge ng laptop in case you need this. More details on the description lang. Now, based naman sa aking experience dito sa phone nito, tumatagal naman siya. It lasted me for around a day and a half without even charging. And nung ginagamit ko naman siya, medyo matipid naman ang gumamit. There are days na heavy usage ako, there are days na light usage lang ako. Hindi naman everyday the same. I would say na siguro yung behavioral pattern ng every single person is not the same. There are people na laging on the go, laging naka-mobile data, so it consumes more. There are people naman na madalas na sa office, naka-wifi, so medyo mas matipid siya. But on mean average, nakakuha naman ako ng 18 hours na screen on time dito sa PC Mark battery stress test. And I would say na makunat naman siya for a flagship level phone. So rest assured, if you're the type of person na always on the go, at the very least, one whole day kaya na naman niya ibigay sa'yo. By the way guys, itong phone na ito has a IP68 and IP69 dust and water resistant. So meron siyang certain level na dust resistant and water resistance. Probably it's one of the highest na pwede makuha on a flagship level phone. Pero of course, I don't really suggest na isubmerge nyo sa water ang iyong mga smartphone. Kasi hindi naman to action camera to begin with. Nung ginagamit ko naman on a day-to-day basis, sobrang ko naman appreciate ang display. Meron siyang LTPO na AMOLED display, meaning it can adjust itself depende sa usage mo, no? Kung hindi ka masyado gumagamit, bababa siya down to 1 Hz. Kung gumagamit ka, sisipa ya up to 120 Hz ang kaya niyang bigay sa'yo. And based on my honest opinion, halos hindi naman nagkakalayo ang experience ko dito sa phone nito and my Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Parang pag nagbabrowse naman ako dito sa kanya, okay din siya, smooth na smooth din ang experience ko dito sa kanya. Lalo na pag nagsi-social media ka, magbabrowsing ka, okay, sobrang smooth din. Siguro nagkakatalo na lang sa UI kasi si Xiaomi using HyperOS. This one is using ColorOS 15. Pareho naman sila ng Android 15, so wala kang maging problema. Now, probably this is something na hindi ko nakita sa akin Xiaomi 15 Ultra. Meron siyang adaptive tone. So, nag-a-adjust yung kanyang color temperature on its own depende sa inyong ambient lighting. Giving you better eye protection, giving you better experience dito sa phone. And another thing na gusto ko rin dito sa kanya, which I think meron din naman sa Xiaomi, is yung kanyang image sharpener. So, yung mga photos na binabrowse mo, it can be sharper once na naka-turn on nito. And meron din siya video color boost to give you a better experience din if you're watching your favorite videos dito on this phone. Based sa aking experience, nanonood ako ng YouTube dito. And by the way guys, meron siyang level 1 na Wi-Fi security level, so pwede ka manood ng HD on this phone. The experience is definitely nice. It's just almost the same naman sa aking Xiaomi 15 Ultra, except na hindi siya curved display. Na-flat ka ng screen dito, which there are some people na mahilig sa flat display and some people na mahilig din sa curved display. It depends sa iyong taste na lang. But personal preference ko would be a curved display. Now, normally pag flagship level phones, ang habol mo naman dito sa kanya is kanyang camera. Pero kaya naman na maglaro ng mga AAA na titles like Genshin Impact, si Wuthering Waves, and nilaro ko rin Call of Duty Mobile. Based sa aking gaming experience dito, nilaro ko naman to 3 game na to tigi 1 oras. And okay naman naging experience ko dito sa kanya. Maganda kanyang touch response, malakas ang kanyang sound, flagship level nga talaga. And yung touch response sa screen is definitely good. Wala akong masabi talaga doon. And one thing na napansin ko sa kanya, medyo malamig din siya. Ang pinakamainit na inabot ko around mga sa 42 degrees Celsius kay Wuthering Waves. And very consistent naman halos yung frame rates nila. And by the way guys, Apple bypass charging naman dito sa kanya and really works. And pwede mo rin iset yung mga gaming settings mo to give you a better enhanced gaming experience. Genshin Impact nakapag-achieve ako ng 90 FPS, Wuthering Waves nakapag-achieve ako ng 60 FPS, and sa Call of Duty Mobile nakapag-achieve ako ng 120 FPS. Gaming experience is definitely sweet na sweet. Wala kang maging problema dito. Halos wala akong na-feel na frame drops across all 3 games na nilaro ko. Pagdating naman sa sound experience ko dito, okay naman siya. Malakas naman siya. I was able to enjoy this listening to Spotify and playing games. Nilagay ko naman siya sa loudspeaker. Okay na okay siya. Gusto ko lang i-share sa inyo kung ano yung naririnig ko dito. Based naman sa aking tenga, parang hindi siya nagkakalayo sa X200 Ultra and sa 15 Ultra. Medyo siguro mas mahina lang siya ng bahagya compared sa dalawang flagship level phones na yun. Based sa aking daily usage, Of course, syempre, pandinig mo might be different sa pandinig ko, pero that's based on my personal experience lang. Now, yung pinakahinahabol mo na experience dito pagdating sa flagship phone like this one is yung kanyang camera. And on spec sheet, it looks pretty solid. Apat na 50MP na camera sensors. Yung kanyang main sensor is Sony LYT900. Meron siyang dalawang periscope telephoto lens, isang 3x optical zoom and isang 6x optical zoom. And the last one is a ultra-wide lens. Pwede siya mag-shoot up to 4K and 120. And yung kanyang harap naman na camera is a 32MP, can shoot you up to 4K and 60. Now, flagship camera deserves a flagship level na output. Checking some outdoor shots na nakuha natin from the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. Itong shot na ito, it's a very, very simple shot. Pero I would say na very meaningful shot. Yung after ng ulan, tinay ko kumuha ng quick snap dito sa kanya. Makikita mo dito sa fruit na ito, I'm not quite sure kung ano tawag dito sa fruit na ito, ang dami ng mga water drops dito. No? Ang ganda ng effect niya, which I love to sa shot na ito. No? It's really looking nice and cool. And kung tinignan mo naman some of these other shots, maganda nga ng details, which I really expect from a flagship level na camera. And focusing naman sa mga rosebud like this one, mga maliliit na stuff, ang dali naman niya mag-focus. Wala akong naging problema naman dito sa kanya. Pero there are some moments medyo gloomy siya and I just took a quick snap dito like this one. Parang hindi buhay yung kanyang photo like this one and this one. Mapapansin mo na parang medyo dead yung kanyang color, medyo sad yung kanyang color. Yung parang kulang ng kunting saturation and vibrance dito sa kanya, which could have made it better. One thing that I like dito sa kanya is magandang kanyang color accuracy. Itong purple letter is almost the same dun sa nakita ko in actual, no? Which I honestly appreciate dito sa kanyang camera. And pagdating naman sa green niya is katamtaman lang, though it's a little bit saturated, hindi siya OA, which is also good. Kasi si Oppo is known for oversaturating in the past yung sa ibang mga flagship level cameras niya. But dito, medyo natama niya kanyang color calibration. Now, since a flagship level camera like this one, expect natin na magandang dapat kanyang zooming capability. But syempre, start muna natin with a ultra-wide shot and this is what I got. Normal, 2 times, 3 times, this is a 6 times zoom. Kita natin yung signage dito is still good. 10 times. 20 times. This is a 60 times zoom. Kita natin, no, still very sharp pa rin mga words na after digital zooming it. And this is a 120 times zoom. So, still clear after digital zooming. Kind of good naman ang ganang pagka-render dito. Pag pumasok ka naman sa indoor, you'll be able to take some really nice shot naman as long as maganda yung pag-angling. You'll be able to take some really good shot like this one. Ang ganda ng kanyang details, ang ganda rin kanyang color, and blurring it all the way to the background. I honestly love this shot. Here are some other shots na nakuha natin, which I think good on performance ng Find X8 Ultra. And capturing some small details like this one, zooming it, kita mo, no? Focus siya dito. And blurred dito sa kanyang background. Equally said din dito sa subject na ito, ang ganda ng kanyang pagka-focus and ang ganda ng kanyang background blur. Nang pagdating naman sa food shot, you'll be able to take some nice snaps naman dito sa kanya. And ang ganda rin naman ang kanyang pagka-focus sa subjects dito sa mga food. And honestly, I have no words to say naman since okay naman kanyang performance pagdating sa mga pagkain. Kasi food photography is one of my favorite thing to do pag wala akong ginagawa. And pansin ko dito under the yellow halogen bulb, okay naman kanyang performance. Pero there are times naman na on the contrary, under the yellow halogen bulb, nagiging orangey ang attack ng kanyang food. Which very contradicting, di ba? Yun ang aking observation dito sa kanyang camera. Kung mahilig ka naman sa mga product photography, kayang-kaya na itong kanyang camera, maganda kanyang capture, and wala naman siyang bleeding sa kanyang gilid. Which is of course definitely good. Napagdating naman sa kanyang front-facing camera, honestly hindi ako masyado satisfied sa kanyang front-facing camera. Because there are times, no, kaya nasa outdoor ka, pansin ko medyo soft ang kanyang photo. Hindi ko lang sure kung dahil sa lightings or dahil medyo gloomy ang weather. But there are times naman na okay ang mga nakukuha ko. Pero there are times na hindi okay masyado nakukuha ko on outdoor. Pero pagdating sa indoor, halatado, no, makikita mo talaga na there's a big shift in difference pagdating sa quality. Mapapansin mo na soft na siya and hindi ako masyado happy sa mga indoor shots na nakuha ko like this one. Because this is a flagship level camera, so I expect something really good. Tignan mo ang soft ng kanyang datingan. Now let's check out some video na na-capture natin using the front and rear camera. Guys, ito yung performance ng camera ni Oppo Find X8 Ultra using the front-facing camera, shooting at 4K and 60. Kamusta naman kanyang sound? And I'm recording using the default microphone. Ito ang performance ng Oppo X8 Ultra shooting at 4K and 60. Very stable ang kanyang camera, no? And I'm just using my bare hand, just panning left and right. Kita natin, it's very, very stable. So nakita naman natin both videos, okay, not bad. Ang kanyang front-facing camera could have been better kasi I expect a lot better the front-facing camera. Pero that's what I got dito sa X8 Ultra, and I'm not quite sure kung may improve siya in firmware upgrades, pero I do hope so. Yung kanyang rear camera is very stable, something that I like dito sa kanya, and ang ganda din ang kanyang pagka-capture ng mga videos dito. I'm pretty sure that this can be your daily driver, and it can be a very good na vlogging na phone. Na after kong gamitin itong phone na ito for 1 week, would I consider itong phone na ito as one of my top 2 for this year? Probably not. Kasi I did try to experience itong phone na ito, and I was able to get some good shot. But there are also times na nakakuha ako ng some bad shot. Not sure, dahil siguro sa timpla ng color na dito. May times na okay, may times na hindi ganun ka okay. Mas consistent pa ang aking Xiaomi 15 Ultra to be exact. Pagdating sa photo, it can zoom up to 120, pero mas convinced pa rin ako na mas maganda ang zooming capability ni Vivo X200 Ultra. Pagdating naman sa video, 30 times zoom. Based sa aking testing medyo nagiging grainy na siya after 30 times zooming. Probably this one is a candidate for a good concert camera. I have yet to try na dalhin to sa concert, pero I think kaya naman niya mag-perform. Siguro pag ako tatanungin mo, this probably might be one of my top 5 for this year. But definitely wala siya sa akin top 2. Kung mahilig ka sa color OS and you're looking for a really good na camera, this is definitely one of my candidate for you, si Oppo Find X8 Ultra. But if you want a better zooming capability, get the Vivo X200 Ultra. And if you want a more consistent na photos, get the Xiaomi 15 Ultra with Leica. Overall, this one is good, pero kulang pa para sa akin. And kung nagustuhan mo itong phone na ito and you're planning to purchase, links on the description box below. And I would personally appreciate you guys if you share this video to your friends na naghanap ng flagship level na phones. And of course, subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell would always notify you once na meron akong mga bagong video just like this one. So, hanggang muli, I'll see you on the next video. And so, ako para si Richmond and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. What's up? Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click the dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.